Prime Minister.
Yes.
And that can't be discounted, neighbor.
Okay, so you are saying to me that these numbers, these impressive numbers from Blue Dot, actually represents your own evaluation of the political temperature in the country. That's what you're saying.
Yes, neighbor. And to be honest with you, neighbor, I have been saying to everybody, I am a Jamaica Labour Party, member of the Jamaica Labour Party. But I can't be naive, neighbor. I have to take off my Jamaica Labour Party hat when I am actually dissecting what's happening. I have to be objective as best as possible because I don't want to fool myself. And
Yes.
when I've been looking and I've been making the assessment between both political parties, neighbor, and I would have say, listen, I'm going to be as objective as possible. I cannot see where the People's National Party would have actually done or said anything that is in comparison to what is currently happening in the Jamaica Labour Party. And that is where we must first begin to look. What are the comparisons?
Okay, before you get to the comparisons, Barry, so you have established that the numbers from Blue Dot represents the realities in Jamaica. Now, isn't it true, Barry, that Anderson 2 weeks ago was picking up that same reality?
Sentiment. Yes, definitely.
The same sentiment. It's not true.
And that is why we saw where the Dan Anderson poll would have said to us that in the last year.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, last year, neighbor, that the PMP was 10 points ahead. 2 weeks ago, having seen what the Blue Dot poll is seeing, would have said that the JLP would have closed the gap significantly to the point where there was a statistical dead 2 weeks ago. And that means that they were seeing the same thing that the Blue Dot poll was seeing.
So let us do it step by step. So, okay, so you're saying that the Blue Dot and Anderson agrees
yes,
that the momentum is with the Jamaica Labour Party.
Definitely, neighbor. And when we had that discussion about 2 weeks ago, I told you, in no uncertain terms, even before I knew exactly that Blue Dot was going to do another poll right away, I said to you, this means for us that the Jamaica Labour Party, given what is happening on the ground, would have actually 10 to 12% ahead. And when the Blue Dot polls came out and said the JLP was 13% ahead, you were like, Barry, you're spot on, right? And it is, I made my assessment based on what I would have seen happening on the ground. I am no scientific pollster, but I can tell you, I can see what is happening. I've been in this thing for a long time, neighbor.
Yeah, that's why
I've seen a number of elections.
All right, now take me now to what is happening today. The same pollster is now saying that there is no longer any momentum with the Jamaica Labour Party, but that the PNP has pulled ahead. What explains this, Barry?
Neighbor, the truth is, I have to use what it is that the pollster would have said that accounts for this. And then I would have to use my supposition. So I want to use both things, and I want the Jamaican people to listen to me and listen to me carefully. The pollster would have said that what accounts for this is the 3.5% announcements that the PMP is planning to increase the tax threshold to $3.5 million. And also, he said that the campaign in Mandeville would have also been an account for that 3.1% lead in the polls. Neighbor, if I were to dive into this poll numbers and look at what accounts for this, the poll numbers said, neighbor, that this poll started was taken between the 22nd and the 26th of August. Now, neighbor, the announcement of the 3.5 came on the 24th of August in the night. And people were just waking up to the news the 25th. Right? And by the time they would have gotten the news at about 1 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the evening, neighbor, it means that only 1 day would have left for the polls to be completed. And you would have wrapped up probably about 80 or 90% of the polling that you would have done on the 26th. Now, if you are going to say that this is what accounts for it, it means that you are saying to the Jamaican people that the information that accounts for your poll moving by 3 to 3.1% lead would have actually started, these people would have gotten the information before, after you started the poll. So basically, the people would know from the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th that the 3.5 was coming. And so they factor that into it, which in fact, neighbor, the poll would have started long before the opposition leader announced the 3.5. And the Mandeville rally, neighbor, what happened on the 24th. So people would not have a chance. So the people who were polled on the 22nd and the 23rd was not factored into the poll numbers that we're now seeing.
Yes.
And so if that is the case, neighbor, the poll cannot be credible, because if you are saying you have a sample of 1,010 people and you would have conducted the poll the 22nd and the 23rd and the 24th, then it means that the only time you probably could safely say that some people were able to hear the news was on the 25th and on the 26th, neighbor. So it means that a significant majority of those 1,100 people would have actually been polled, would have actually been questioned or polled before the announcements were made, which makes, neighbor, the poll inaccurate. And it's not a true reflection of what is happening out there. And I think it's a knee-jerk, it's a reaction to the fact that the JLP was leading in the poll going into a weekend. So in order to kind of give the PMP some momentum, right, you said to your pollster, give us something that we need to take into the weekend, because we have nothing to match the 13 points that blew that shell out to us on Friday evening.
You are discrediting the Don Anderson polls, Barry?
I am not, neighbor. I am just using his information to say to the Jamaican people what transpired. So I'm not actually saying that Blue that didn't do the polls. But if you are telling me that you account the poll was conducted the 22nd to the 26th, and the basis for the movement in the poll is really the announcement of the 3.5 and the Manchester rally, and those happened after the poll started, he is discrediting his own polls, because what he is saying to the Jamaican people that this information came out after the poll started, and yet he's telling us that this is what accounts for the poll. How could the people know that this was going to happen?
Yeah, explain to me, Barry. What is momentum in an election? If a pollster says a party has momentum, what does that mean?
When a pollster says a party has momentum, neighbor, it means that the party is actually rolling along, neighbor, without even effort, right? Because based on what they're doing, they're actually leading, and they are gathering, people are joining them, neighbor, looking at what is happening. That's what momentum is. You know, if like you're rolling down the road, you're putting a magnet and you're rolling down the road, neighbor, effortlessly, right? People are gravitating towards you effortlessly.
Okay, so how could the Labour Party lose momentum over this election period? How could it have happened?
In order for a party to lose momentum, there must be a significant fall off, a message that the people tend to say, listen, this does make sense to me. Or there's a scandal that comes out, or the party leader would have come out and said something that the people are totally against, and it is reverberating right across the country, neighbor. So those are the only reasons. Something happened, a scandal came out, which the people are now saying, boy, this sounds bad. We can't, like the traffic guru, right? Or something else that actually, or the party leader would have said something that turns off the people. That's the only way that you probably could find momentum being lost. And what we have seen with the Jamaica Labour Party, we don't see the momentum being lost by the Jamaica Labour Party. If you should ask me, I think the momentum is gathering, neighbor. Because you find people, PMP, JLP, uncommitted, everybody wanting to hug the Prime Minister, wanting to be a part of what is happening with this Jamaica Labour Party, neighbor.
Okay, so what is the public to do with this disparity, Barry? A small democracy, Jamaica, two poles in opposite direction. How is the public to respond at this time?
All right, neighbor, as a very good question, and very good that you asked that, neighbor. For me as a Labourite, and for people who are in Jamaica Labour Party, this is a good thing for us, neighbor, in the sense that
It is a good thing for the Labour Party, sir?
Yes, neighbor. And I tell you why it's a good thing for us. There are people in Jamaica right now, the uncommitted and the Jamaica Labour Party supporters, who believe in what this government is doing. And because they see what is happening and they believe what is happening and they do not want a change in what is happening. When this poll comes out, neighbor, they are going to say, PMP leading, even if I never plan to vote, neighbor, I am going to go out there and vote. Because guess what? The PMP cannot come back to power. And we will not allow it. So it would be a motivator for the labor rights, neighbor. And the uncommitted who are sympathetic to the Jamaica Labour Party and what is happening in the country.
You are saying to me that the polls this morning is pushing labor right forward?
Pushing labor right forward, neighbor. Oh. It is pushing every single labor right to even decide, so listen, my name plan for work, but me I go work, because guess what? I am not going to allow this PMP to come back to power. It is also pushing the uncommitted who have seen what the Jamaica Labour Party is doing and say to themselves that, listen, I can't allow the PMP to come back. So guess what? If the PMP pollster said it's leaving, we are going to prove them wrong. Because guess what? We believe in the Andrew Holness-led administration and what they are doing. We believe in what we see. We believe in what we hear. And we believe that this party is the party that is best for Jamaica. And guess what? We are not going to allow anything at all to derail this. So guess what? You come out with a poll, we're going to give you the real poll. So the motivation that comes from this poll, neighbor, is even probably greater than the blue dot polls. Because it's a motivation that's driven by the fear of losing. And when you have the motivation, we are not going to take anything or leave anything to chance. And that is why we are going to be doubling up our efforts to make sure that the PMP never see government again. That is what this poll is doing for the Jamaica Labour Party supporters and those people who are uncommitted this morning. Wow.
You are saying to me that labor rights are even more determined this afternoon. Because of this.
You will be having conversation and discourse with the people throughout the day, neighbor. And when you ask them, neighbor, does this poll make you fear? Or does this poll motivate you more? And you are going to get the response. You are going to get the response, neighbor. They are going to tell you that I am 10 times more committed, because guess what? We see what this government is doing, and we are not going to allow this party to come to power. So guess what? I'm going to double my efforts. So if I plan to take out 20 people, I am going to try to take out 25 or 40 people, neighbor. And that is what the labor rights will do.
Yes, but don't you think that that there will be a positive response from comrades also?
Oh, naturally, because that's what they want, any good news that they can get, And the idea of this poll coming out at this time, at this critical juncture, which is not, in my opinion, a credible poll, is really a knee-jerk reaction. It's just a reaction to what happened Friday evening, when they said, listen, mate, the JLP is going into the weekend buoyant, motivated, energized, like you saw in Ocherios. When Ocherios meeting turned out Friday, it was not even an announced meeting. Because neighbor, you didn't even know about it. And the people turned out in Ocherios in their droves, buoyant by the poll of 13%. Then you see the Prime Minister Saturday morning moving into Kingston, weaving his way down to Bull Bay, into St. Thomas and into Portland. And the crowd was excited. Neighbor, the PMP had nothing to do but to come out to say to Dan Anderson, Dan, give us something. Because we can't allow the JLP to come to this weekend, the last weekend before the election, and they are so buoyant. Give us something. So Dan Anderson not to try to throw a spanner in the wheel of the Jamaica Labour Party.
I'm still very concerned. I'm still very concerned, though, Barry, that somehow the public is not being served by all of this. That, we don't know what to believe. Is it not right at this time to say to people, the poll is going to be on Wednesday? That's going to be the poll. Huh?
Yes,
let's focus on the poll that is to be taken on Wednesday. Because that is a real poll, Barry.
Yeah, that is the real poll. But, neighbor, what happens? Polling really, neighbor, is never 100% accurate. They're always just a shot in terms of what the lay of the land is, and what a good majority of people think. But you cannot get a poll completely accurate. And so people use that to kind of ramp up how they campaign, where they need to go campaign, and how they need to go campaign. Because in a poll, but there are a number of questions that are asked. And those questions help the people who are using these poll numbers to determine how we're going to campaign in different parts of the country. So, neighbor, sometimes you may have seen the PMP putting out a poll, will give you a poll of 63 constituency. Once you see that, neighbor, you need to say, well, that is a fluke. Because if you are short on money, why would you go poll at West Kingston? Or why would you go poll at Central Spanish Town? Or why would you go poll Angela Brownberg's constituency when you know how those results are going to go? Right? Because those are garrison constituencies. And they are sending out a poll to suggest that this is the poll that we did and this is where we are. You understand what I'm saying? So neighbor, the PMP is desperate. And they said desperate times calls for desperate measures.
The PMP is desperate, sir?
Desperate. The PMP has become a group of despots.
Ah. Wow.
And they will choose absolutely any. Neighbor, I don't know if you know that there's a theory in Marxism that says if you are running an election, you must try to win the election by all means necessary because the means justifies the end. And yes, that's a Marxist theory.
Uh-huh.
And so if you would have heard Pickersgill in the past, neighbor, said, we believe that we are the best to serve Jamaica as a government.
And
so
anything that will lead us and cause us to be in power, we believe is best for the country.
That's it. And that's a Marxist theory, neighbor. It did not originate with Pickersgill, in a neighbor.
Yes.
It is a Marxism theory, you know. So if you even burn the country down, neighbor, as long as you become the government, you can always build it back.
That's why you run with it.
That's why you run with it. So a lot of people hear this said by Pickersgill, but they never know where the origin of it came from. It came from the Marxist theory.
Yes.
Which suggests that when you are running an election, you must win the election by any means necessary because the means will justify the end.
Okay. So Barry, what you have basically explained to me here is that logically the poll really not really make too much of a sense.
No, neighbor. And I mean, I put the information out there to the people and they can judge for themselves as to whether or not.
Hold on there, Barry. Just want the guests to. There are a lot of people who probably want to join this discussion, but we're not taking any more calls right now. We're talking to Barry for a little bit more, okay? So just hold on a little bit there. We're not doing a discussion right now. We want to get an understanding of what is happening with these polls. Yeah, go ahead, Barry. So you are saying, Barry, that the argument is not logical. The conclusions, therefore, are false.
Cannot be, neighbor. I mean, so neighbor, we can get into the comparison now, neighbor.
Yes.
Pound of flesh for pound of flesh. So we can look at what is the PMP's policy. Policy prescriptions. Let us say policy prescription. And by policy prescription, neighbor, we have a country that needs to be fixed, as they would say. And so we have put forward policy prescription that will fix the country. So this is what we are going to be doing to help the country. So we said that we are going to build 500 houses in a swampland in Portland. Right? We said we are going to have a rent to own. Now, neighbor, when you think about the first proposal is you're building a house, you're going to dump up the swampland. Right? Why not build a house on a land that is not swampy? Instead of that initial cost to fill up the swamp, you use those money to actually do the groundwork and the infrastructure and put up the houses. Right? So that first and foremost is a waste of money and not a plausible idea. And basically the geologists said, or the environmentalists said, that you cannot do that because the bank of the river is naturally there to protect the river from doing whatever it is supposed to do. So that is one that we don't have to put through cold water on, neighbor. The second policy is the rent-to-own policy. Neighbor, that has failed right across the world. The only place that we see, it is not even rent-to-own, neighbor. It is social housing that is provided by the government in the United States, which is called Section 8 housing. In the 1980s coming up into the 1990s in in New York, they had these rent-to-own facilities, which become what we call known as the hood. The Giuliani mayorship of New York back in the days went in and dismantled the hood. They lock up the hood neighbor and take the people out there because the people were not paying their rent and the communities were running down, right? And they took them out of it and relocate them, and they transformed those communities into some edifice that are now attracting top price in New York, down in a place called Fordham, right next to Manhattan, right? So that did not work. So in Jamaica, neighbor, we're talking about rent to own. We do not have enough houses on the market to even sell to the people who need it. Where are we going to find the houses to rent to people? Right? And say, for example, you can find the houses to rent to the people. Why rent the house when you can sell it? Because the same rent that you're asking the people to pay to pay for rent is the same rent that you're going to use as their mortgage. Why not sell them in the first place? And then the thing is, where are you going to find these houses initially to start the rent to own? So we pour cold water on that, neighbor. The other thing, neighbor, $500,000 to 2,000 young people for a down payment. There's no need for a down payment when you are given 100% financing on NHT homes. Why do you need a down payment when you get 100% financing?
Well, yes.
That's what I'm saying. So that don't make any sense again, neighbor. And then the thing is, how are you?
And the 3.5 is largely discredited.
And neighbor, and I want to say something on that for my Jamaican people who are listening to me, neighbor.
Yes,
neighbor, the government has asked you to ban your belly for a little bit because the debt to GDP was so high. And they said, we are going to try to bring down the debt to GDP. And when we bring the debt to GDP down, we are going to work for you. We are going to use whatever savings we have now to put in amenities, to build hospitals, to build roads, to give you some social benefits. Right? Now the debt to GDP has come down and we are seeing where the government is helping the people. They are building roads, the social housing pension, the give backs of the income tax, the solidarity program. Those are as a result of the savings that we got from bringing down the debt in a neighbor. We've created fiscal space in the budget to be able to do those things. Neighbor, you tell me, we are going to bring the debt further down to a 62% or a 60% debt to GDP, which will now create another 2.5%.
To help the poor people, sir.
To help the poor people, neighbor.
And you want to take it on
tell me, with one policy, neighbor, one policy prescription that you want to use to win the election, you are going to take up $70 billion and give it to 80,000 middle-class people, neighbor.
Oh, God, it's inequitable, sir.
And think about it, neighbor. What are the other people to say? What is in it for me? You are going to give it to people who earn 3.5 million and less.
Yes.
What
those
about
people are already and that those people are not going to push that in the economy,
No, because those are going to be savings, neighbor, because they already have disposable income in their salaries.
Yes.
These people already have disposable income. So they
I wonder if the people at Jamaica are listening to you, sir. Say it again.
So these people who are going to get this 3.5 already have what is called disposable income. And disposable income, neighbor, means that when you finish your budget for the month based on what you earn, you have a little money that you can put in your pocket and go to the road, go buy your friend a drink.
Yes.
Or go give your girlfriend down the road. That is what we call disposable income.
Yes, sir.
Right? And so if these people have disposable income, what it is going to are going to put more, neighbor, right? So if you already have disposable income and you get more money on top of that disposable income, what you're going to do with it? Are you going to push it back into the economy? No. You're going to put it in your pocket, put it in your saving, and put it towards your retirement or put it towards generational wealth. Nothing is wrong with that, neighbor. But the only time we can factor that in is when we are at a point where the fiscal space in the economy allows us to do so. If the poorer people you give the money, neighbor, the more they push it back into the economy.
Yes, sir. The multiplier effect is greater. Absolutely.
The multiplier effect is going to be greater. And it's going to create for the government a whole lot more revenue. Because when you push back money into the economy, consumption taxes will actually be increased and the government will be able to have more revenue to create more space for more people. So people need to begin to understand the policy prescriptions of both political parties. And when I look at what my government or the party that I support now does, neighbor, what are the policy prescriptions? Aside from what we have already achieved, right? Or what we have already completed in terms of those things that are already in train and those that have been completed. Neighbor, we are looking at farmers' pension.
Yes.
We're looking at
a first in our history.
First in our history. We're looking at a health plan for senior citizens. We're looking at giving back tax, no income tax for senior citizens who earn $6 million or less. Neighbor, we are looking at increasing the number of buses for rural school buses.
Yes, sir.
Right? We are looking to add over 350,000 more people to portable water supply. Neighbor, we are looking to reduce electricity cost. Neighbor, we are looking to expand the logistic hub to create new opportunities, paying opportunities for people. We are looking, neighbor, at making student loan more accessible for more people in terms of providing living, food grants to people who apply for student loan.
Yes.
Neighbor, we are looking at increasing, building new hospital in Portmore, building a new Kingston Public Hospital. We're looking at increasing number of doctors from 1 day a week to 5 days a week in all the health centers in Jamaica. We are looking at building 600 more roads on top of the 600 that is now under construction. We are looking at providing assistance to poor people who have their house top leaking or who have a room that is not completed and are able to be completed, neighbor. So when you see this policy prescription and you put this against $1 billion to the social, the contenters, neighbor, including yourself.
No, sir, not me.
Right? When you look at one
here after Wednesday.
When you look at $1 billion to this, $2 billion to that, neighbor, if you have a group of broke people who have been running election for the past 9 years and can't win, and they come into power and you see them give out money left, right, and center. If you're broke, neighbor, and you have money can't give everybody, you're not going to take some for yourself if you're broke.
Well, Barry. But because they...
So neighbor, you can't say. You can't, and then the other thing to neighbor, yes, them saying they're going to give taxman $10,000 every week.
Yes.
Now, this is pun intended, neighbor. Yes, Damien Crawford decides I'm going to turn taxman the next day.
Well,
right?
I see where you are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm just saying to you,
the point you're making, Barry, is that the critical analysis done in terms of the policy of both shows that the Labour Party is vastly superior.
Vastly superior, neighbor. And neighbor, I honestly believe that the majority of our Jamaican people are well-thinking people who are educated enough to look into both policies, neighbor. And by that, neighbor, they would have actually decided that the Jamaica Labour Party is the best vehicle to take this country to a place where we can raise our family, do business, and live, raise our family, and do business. That is the vision of the 2030 vision, neighbor.
And I think you should point out for those who are asking why wasn't it done before, Barry. Put that in context to say why were these things not able to be done before. Answer that question.
All right, neighbor, ask them. And I put it very simple. I'm going to take it down to a layman term. Neighbor, you make $100,000 a year. Just using that for argument. You want a house. And neighbor, but when you look at your expense, you can only save $10. And the down payment for the house costs $30. How are you going to get that $30? Don't you have to save it? Can you save it from that $100,000?
Yes,
right?
Are you borrow it?
Are you borrow it? Right?
No.
Now, if you borrow, what that will do, neighbor, it put you in further debt. So your income will become less. So that means the amount of expenditure that you have will become more. And the amount of money that you have to create a better life for yourself will become less because your borrowing is so high. And you probably may find yourself bankrupt.
Like
so basically
right
what we had, neighbor, it was a situation where we had a debt that was so high. So in order to create an opportunity for us to do all of these things, we had to decide to say, listen, we are not going to borrow any more money now. We're going to live within our means.
Add to the story why the debt was so high. Why?
Yes, and the debt was so high, neighbor, because let me tell you, coming out of the 1990s into 2000, we had a high interest rate regime, right? And we had to borrow. We borrow money at high interest rate. When Holness came into power, he said to the people that he's going to go to the multilaterals. I want to get cheaper loans, right? Now, when Bruce Golding became prime minister, neighbor, we had what is called the world meltdown, financial meltdown, where the entire world was in crisis. And in America, they lose over 1,000 banks. In Jamaica, we never lost one. What Bruce Golding and Holness did, they did the heavy lifting in terms of removing some of those albatrosses from around the neck of the Jamaican economy. And I'll tell you what those are. The Air Jamaica, which was bleeding the country so much, millions of dollars every year. The sugar companies that were bleeding the country so much money, right? And then we had these high interest bonds that were given by the PNP in the 1990s coming up. And we still had those bonds. So what Bruce Golding did, he called those bonds and said to them, listen, I'm going to give you a JDX 1, Jamaica Debt Exchange 1. What that does, neighbor, is like you borrow, it's like you borrow some money from somebody at a 10% interest rate. And you said, I can't afford to pay you because I'm going to go bankrupt. So what I'm asking you to do is to give me a better deal. So
on the interest.
So what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to recall those bonds, issue with some new ones at a lower interest rate, which will put us in a better position to be able to make payments on those debts so we don't default on our debts. Because neighbor, I would rather collect my debt than for you to say you can't pay me. Don't.
And technically, Barry, it was a technical default.
Right, it was a technical default. So I rather say to you, give me a better deal to pay down your money, right? Other than to say I'm bankrupt, I can't pay. So tata, right? And basically that's what the business people did. They saw what was happening. They saw the recession that was coming, right? And they saw how it was affecting the world and Jamaica. So they agreed to the JDX 1. And as a result of that, even though we were having issues with IMF and stuff, it was a lot of money.
As a matter of fact, there were two. There was actually two, Barry. It was actually two.
Yes. So what we had to do, neighbor, we had to take care of our people. So we had to make sure that the people didn't lose their jobs. And we are cushioning the blow of the world recession on the people. So no public sector workers lost their job during that period of time. No social program was cut during that period of time, right? So we saw that the government was doing a nice balancing act to make sure that we keep the economy stable and keep the economy viable.
Yes.
Now,
yes, sir.
So nobody's putting all of those
things. So the point about how, right, the point about why it couldn't be done before is really the fact that we just never had the money to do it.
Basically, we just never had the money to do it.
Yeah, right. Quite so. But Barry, so Barry, let's wrap this up now. We have these two polls. The poll is on Wednesday. You have said that the non-listen poll really, when you put argument to it, looking at hypotheses and all that, that the conclusion is pretty faulty. You don't think that anything is happening in Jamaica that gives the People's National Party a 3.1% lead?
No.
I find it incredulous, sir. I must tell you personally, I find it incredulous. I personally, I must tell you the truth. Neighbor, I don't see anything.
Neighbor, I want to say this to you, neighbor. I want to say this to you. The PNP themselves don't believe it.
Comrades don't believe it?
No.
Uh-oh.
No, wow. No. They know, they don't believe it, neighbor. They know all these comrades, even the supporters of the PNP, they don't believe it because they can't see through it. Because they know when their party is leading.
Yes.
They know. They're not stupid, no, neighbor. They see what is happening on the ground. They see it all around them. They don't believe it, neighbor. But what it does, neighbor, they are hoping that it will give their base and other people a little boost or motivation to say, well, let the PMP look at them needing and look at them can win, so I might go out there. But neighbor, for the labor right, it doesn't do that. It motivates the labor right more. It motivates the uncommitted who are leaning to the Jamaica Labour Party more because they know why they are supporting the Jamaica Labour Party.
Okay. Have you changed your assessment?
The uncommitted so low in Jamaica before. Have you ever seen it?
No. Fantastic. As a matter of fact, when you look at the vote on Thursday, the ones for the police,
yes,
it's a high turnout, over 50%.
Yes. Right.
Have you changed your projection though, Barry? Having looked at the numbers, what is your expectations come Wednesday?
I am expecting that the Jamaica Labour Party will hold on to its 49 seat. And I said that to you from
Hold on. You're expecting the Labour Party to hold on to their 49 seats.
Yes, neighbor. And I'm expecting to flip at least 3 seats.
Wow.
And
flip 3?
Yes, and flip 3.
You are saying that the Labour Party is winning at least 52 seats come Wednesday, sir?
Yes, sir. And that is my projection from way up in the year from we got the first Blue Dot poll. And I am sticking to my guns. And I've never changed tune, neighbor. Way before anybody was talking about 50. When I had the conversation with you, you were like, Barry, you must be joking.
Yes.
Because everybody was telling you 38.
The Labour Party is flipping 3 of the 14 seats currently held by the
Yes, and there's one other thing I am prepared to put my head on the block to say, neighbor.
Yes.
That Mark Golden will not be the opposition leader after this election.
Oh, he's going back to England?
No, he will be a member of parliament, but he will not be the opposition leader because he will not command enough of his peers in the House who will be willing to vote for him to be the opposition leader.
I see. Who you think?
Well, it is up. It could be a Philip Paulwell. It could be a Julian Robinson.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
that is if Julian Robinson were to hold on to his seat.
Oh, the Julian that I saw there talking about organic growth?
Yes, that same one.
I don't know that he can manage that, sir. He can't even explain how he's going to fund the 3.5. He's a late starter.
We're not even put that into the mix, never. We're not even put that into the mix to say how flip-flopping they have been flip-flopping. Which means when you flip-flopping a neighbor and an issue as important as the main issue that you want to use to win the election, it tells you that it's desperation because guess what? You didn't believe it at first. You didn't believe it at second. And now for the third time, you're putting it out there and expect people to believe it when you yourself didn't believe it could work. Because you put it out there first and you didn't believe it could work, so you pull it back. You put it out there a second time, you didn't believe it could work, so you pull it back and you come back a third time with it. So who's going to believe that it's going to work the third time if it couldn't work the first 2 times?
Yes, Barry. Well, Barry, I tell you something. What would be your final thoughts to those listening, Barry? Because I have gotten a lot of inquiries to speak to this matter. What are your concluding thoughts on this report? What do you have to say?
Neighbor, I'd like to say to the Jamaican people, be motivated by the polls, by the Anderson poll. And if you were planning to bring out 10 people, bring out 20. If you were planning to go to the poll 8 o'clock, go 7 o'clock. Right? If you were planning to say, listen, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, make sure you go a little bit earlier and make sure you go get it done.
Yes, sir.
So neighbor, all I'm saying to my Jamaican people, Jamaica Labour Party supporters and those uncommitted who are actually planning to vote for the Jamaica Labour Party, let's get this done early and then after 1 o'clock. Because it's at 1, 2 o'clock that people tend to want to go wrap up by carrying a little bag with money and stuff. But if you get it done early, they can't buy you again. So I would suggest that if you're a Labourite, go wash off your finger and tell the PMP that you didn't vote. So guess what? Give me the money because you can't vote again.
Barry, thank you so much. You hear, sir?
Have a good day, neighbor. And listeners, have a good day. I'm so excited about the prospect of Jamaica Labour Party taking this third term. And I know you're excited yourself too. And we're looking forward to the celebration on Thursday afternoon. And we're going to go down to Duke Street in our numbers to celebrate our victory for the third term. And on Thursday morning, the 4th.
Thank you so much, Barry Mine.
Go where I go.
And neighbor, I love that music, yeah? It's good Sunday music.
Oh, goodness. Hug up your wife, sir. Give her a kiss.
All right, sir. She's running down the stairs to come now.
Barry Mine is a member of the Jamaica Labour Party. Fantastic. She's with you?
Well, she's upstairs. She's upstairs, neighbor. You know?
All right. Take care of yourself, sir. Thank you so much. Casey comes up at 3 o'clock.
New horizons I see.
Barry Miden just dismissed the Dan Anderson poll. He says it has motivated labor rights.
Walk through this world with me.
I tell you, that is fantastic. Real, you know, the psychology of these things. Yep. Labor rights are, boy, they're motivated all across Jamaica. Wednesday, what a big day. All right, Jamaica girl, you can put someone up. Go ahead. On an editorial note, this morning, the program was abruptly ended because we violated community guidelines. One of our caller said something that were not approved, and therefore we almost couldn't come back. But we work it out. So please don't come up here with language that, you know, is not accepted in the community. All right, please. All right. Good afternoon. Who is there? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, neighbor. This is Campbell.
This is who?
Campbell, the teacher, the gentleman who is a teacher who spoke to you some time ago from Westmoreland.
Yes, welcome, sir. How you doing?
Not too bad.
I see where the JTA is you know, not treating the minister so good.
Oh well, but the JTA has to postpone whatever retaliation they're planning to make, because not all the teachers are on board.
Oh, you are not?
I am not. And certainly there are others who are not on board.
Why, sir?
Neighbor, not all of us are ungrateful.
Not ungrateful?
Not all of us are ungrateful.
You're a teacher, sir?
Grateful. I don't hear you.
You're a teacher?
Yes, neighbor.
Yes. No, I just want the listeners to understand.
I teach at a prominent high school here in Kingston.
Okay. You teach economics?
I teach economics, I teach accounts, and I teach POB.
No, sir. Teacher, tell me, what is organic growth?
Organic growth? Just give me a minute.
Okay, this is an economics teacher. He teaches at a prominent high school in Kingston. I tell you, it's going to be fantastic talking to him.
Walk through this world with me. Go where I go. Share all the dreams.
Thank you for coming back, sir. So you're an econ teacher.
Right.
Tell our listeners, what is organic growth?
organic growth, they're expecting the economy to expand regardless of what happens. You understand? Right. So this is not an effort by the government. It's just something that is natural.
Yes.
Right. That's what they're expecting. And you cannot always rely on organic growth. What if there is no growth? What is going to happen?
No, it's a
remember,
presumption. It is a presumption.
It's an assumption. And there are times when the economy will expand and there are times when the economy will contract.
Okay, so teacher, you yeah, we can move on from that, because I didn't even want to bring that up.
Right.
You are looking on as a teacher, and you say that not all teachers are ungrateful. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? In what context are you speaking?
Neighbor, remember, not all teachers remember where they're coming from. Meaning, in a sense, that we remember when we were getting just a little tuppence. Remember when we were I just use that term because I'm from the country area. So
yeah,
when we were getting a small amount. Remember when we were getting a small amount.
Yes.
And we remember when we got an increase. And we remember when we had wage freeze. And we know who gave us the wage freeze.
Who gave you the wage freeze? That Bruce Golding administration.
Right. The PNP gave us the wage freeze. And the Jamaica Labour Party gave us the highest increase ever in the history of Jamaica.
I didn't know that.
Oh, well.
It was the
no, neighbor.
The wicked JLP government gave you a wage freeze?
No.
No?
That's not the case, neighbor.
Oh, my.
So people are not ungrateful.
Yes.
Right. So I wanted my reason for coming here on the air today is to tell my Labour Party friends, persons who are willing to vote for the Labour Party, persons who want to see the Labour Party in government, mobilize. Whenever you're going, don't go by yourself. Walk with your neighbor. Walk with a friend.
The teacher is saying that
Polls
the party
don't win
people must
elections.
mobilize. Teacher?
Mobilize. Mobilize. That's the word that I want to use. Mobilize. When you're going, if you have a son, walk with your son. If you have a daughter, walk with your daughter. If you have a neighbor, convince your neighbor. All right? And you need to mobilize. And neighbor, you see, after this election, I will be coming back to your platform and I will tell you how the West was won. Or how the West.
Let me ask you something, teacher. You're not concerned that in your profession, people are going to hear you and label you in any way?
Neighbor, it doesn't really affect me because I'm talking the truth. And the truth must prevail.
Well, yes.
Right. And so if I am talking the truth and you feel as if the truth is wrong, it's up to you. The truth is the truth. Regardless, I was talking to a colleague of mine she came to Kingston on Thursday, and she said that she was in a staff meeting, and some of the older teachers were saying, remember, even though you got an increase, we can't see your money. She said, she stopped them in their truck and said, no. The reason why you can't see your money is because you take out too much loan and too much loan come from no pay. That's the reason why you can't see the money. She stopped them in the truck because persons know that this is the highest increase that we have gotten. And the persons want to try and dismiss it to see that the government did not do anything for teachers.
Tell me, teacher, how was the West won? Or how will the West be won?
Organize, mobilize, and division. I will not go any further.
I see. Well, you are going to be in the West?
I know from a particular community that I am from. The lame, the sick, and the blind will be voting. And they will all be voting one way. So polls or no polls, they will be voting one
Well, I
way.
carry 2 seats in the sun. I am carrying 2 seats. I am carrying 2 seats. I can tell you, 2 battleground seats. Neighbor. I don't want to say not much on that. I want the people in the diaspora to text me because I
Which
I
2
am
battleground
carrying.
seats are you carrying in Westmoreland?
Now, I can't say it. I can't say it here, so.
Oh,
Can't
all
say it here,
3
so.
seats in neighbor, all 3 seats in
Yeah.
Westmoreland, they are
Uh-huh.
up for grabs.
Yeah, I'm going
Mobilization,
to show something on Wednesday. I'm going to show them something
mobilization,
on Wednesday. Yes.
mobilization,
Uh-huh.
and guess what? Division. And can I tell you this, neighbor? Yes, when the people say that they want a particular person, give the people what they want. Don't force yourself on the people.
Yes.
That is a grave mistake by a particular party.
Huh? I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Well,
When the
teacher.
people ask you for when the people ask you for something, give them what they want. Do not go against the people, or else the people will go against you. They will team up against you.
What a bam bam.
Neighbor.
What a bam bam. Thank you here, teacher. We running out
No problem.
one at a time.
All right.
Good. Bye-bye. All right.
Bye.
We're coming to you, Gigi. By the way, there is a live goal on your screen and it must be met. As a matter of fact, we're setting 2 for the forecast. Okay, so you are staying for the forecast. Make sure that you go to the live goals and let's set them, because without that we can't up KC. Let's walk this through together. All right, let's do it. Aha. KC is coming up shortly, but the live goal needs to be met. Please remember, if you need the Zelle account or the Cash app, that you send an access for it. Just go to Hello Neighbor, send us a message. We have to pay for this forecast, all right? We have to pay for it. It's very costly. And we don't have any sponsors. You are the sponsors, listeners.
Walk through this world with me.
We all know that
Where I
we all know that Jamaican.
share all the
We don't know where you
dreams with me. I've searched for you so.
Yes, so the forecast that we do here, very, very costly. As a matter of fact, it has cost us, I can't even tell you how much, but we pay for it, all right? Just want you to know that. And we're asking you to pitch in for us, okay? Please. We are begging you. Well, we're asking.
Come take my hand.
Come walk with us. Let us do this forecast this evening. Let's put this seat count to rest.
Go where I go. Share all the dreams with me. I need you so.
Good afternoon, Gigi. Good afternoon.
Hey, neighbor, what's up?
I'm fine. Hi, go ahead, sir.
Have you seen the latest video from PJ Paddy's?
I have seen it, yes. Very interesting, eh?
You don't find it curious?
Well, we discussed it last night. I wonder why he would have done that at this late hour. It seems like confidence over there in Eastern is
It's the only thing one thing I conclude from it. Trouble dead.
trouble did it.
Yeah, I mean, and why would he single out Westmoreland East? Remember, the entire.
Remember that it is his former seat, you know.
I do understand that. I do understand that, but I mean,
and I think he would still have some influence over there. You don't think?
minimal. I mean, even if it does, I mean, it won't sway anybody of any significance. And even in his presentation, people can bore holes into his rhetoric, which is hypocritical. I mean, presenting him that he's a man of the soil. I mean, he ran from where he was born, which was his domain, to come to a next man domain. I mean, that don't spell like a man who is a man of the soil.
Aha.
You know? So, I mean, look here. All I see happening in the last week or something, Jima, panic buttons are being pressed.
Oh.
The panic buttons are being pressed. The Canon Listen poll is one. You know?
Done on this.
Yes, my neighbor. You know, I wanted to highlight something to your neighbor, even in the
Yes.
debate. I saw you were expressing some disgust at which they disrespected the Prime Minister. And I want to bring something to your attention. The disrespect started from even the introduction. I don't know if you recognize when they introduced him as just Andrew Holness, Dr. Andrew Holness. Not Prime Minister, you know. They didn't give him the title, you know, as Prime Minister, you know.
Who?
You know? No, the debaters, I mean, the tone was set from the beginning of the debate. Even with the introduction of Andrew. Not introducing the man as the Prime Minister. You understand what I get, you know?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So the tone was clearly set. It's like the man was in the Lions Den Thursday night. You know, and then give Mark one little bat up and catch question about.
You think the Prime Minister will prevail on Wednesday, Gigi?
There is no doubt in my mind.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
No, look here, based on the reception that I'm seeing this man getting on the road. Look here, you are a biblical man. What it say about the children?
Ah?
Help me with that Bible verse.
Which one?
The one about the children. When the children see you or they will lead you or something like that.
Little child? A little child.